Apple. For more on Apple's marketing strategies, I'm joined by two of the foremost Apple observers. Guy Kawasaki is an entrepreneur and former Apple evangelist. And Leander Kahney is author of Inside Steve's Brain and other books on Apple. He also runs the blog, The Cult of Mac. Welcome, gentlemen, to Bloomberg West. Leander, first of all,
thank you.
Did Apple really lose another iPhone in a bar? Bring us up to date. What's the latest here?
It certainly looks like they did, because there's an Apple security team on trying to track this down, going to people's houses in San Francisco, which they wouldn't do for any ordinary iPhone. So it, probably likely that there is a prototype of maybe the iPhone, of the iPhone 5 loose somewhere.
Now, was this planned? Was this a PR stunt, or was this an accident?
It's going to be an accident. Apple, wouldn't do this kind of thing for a PR stunt. They don't need any more press than they've already got. Plus, they already get a ton of press from it being a surprise. They don't want people to know what it is. So it's got to be an accident. Someone has lost it again.
Guy, how about you? Obviously, this is getting a lot of attention, so much that people are accusing Apple of doing this to get more publicity. What's your take on this?
Apple's not that sly. Apple's a pretty sly company, but it's not that sly.
Really, though? I mean, Apple is known for, its kind of stealth marketing.
No, there's nothing stealth about Apple. Apple keeps things secret, and then it just blows it out to the whole world. So this is way too subtle. You're overthinking this, Emily. It's not a conspiracy. What Apple should do is they should turn their cafeteria into a bar every night, and then at least when people leave it someplace, they'll be leaving it on premises.
Guy, I did some personal investigation at the bar last night, and actually.
Yeah.
No, I'm not kidding. Actually, while we were there, somebody left their iPhone at the bar, which is pretty funny. We were there shooting some video. But let me ask you, you were at Apple at a really crucial time for the company back in 1984, 85, when the first Macintosh was coming out. And it seems that secrecy and the level of secrecy has become an important marketing technique for Apple. How is that different than what things were like back in 84?
Back in 84, I think we were as careful. We carried around Macintosh prototypes in this little bag. We had people sign NDAs just to see it. Of course, it was a lot harder to forget a 20-pound computer than a little iPhone. But the company has a history of secrecy. One of that is just the practicalities of consumer goods, which is if everybody knows that the new iPhone or new Macintosh is imminent, then people stop buying the current one. So you need to time it right so that you're not stuck with a lot of iPhone 4s or a lot of previous generation Macintoshes. And then people are stopping buying it so that they wait for the next one. And if you do that around Christmas time, you could really hurt your Christmas. So ideally, you'd sell all the old stuff, the next day turn around and sell new stuff.
Yeah. Hey, Leander, let me ask you as well. I mean, this secrecy that's so important to Apple. I've read that this is something that Steve Jobs, used to be very available. I was talking to somebody the other night and said Steve used to call me at home all the time when he was trying to get press when he was with Next Computer. But this is something that really, in his return to Apple after leaving as CEO, secrecy became a different component for him.
Oh, he takes it very seriously. Apple used to have a reputation as a ship that leaked, and it leaked from the top. And there was a lot of sort of game playing going on. Engineers and managers would leak details about their pet projects to get them press, and then they would get more attention inside the company. But he's definitely clamped that down, and it is so secretive now. It's more secretive than government agencies, than terrorist organizations. It's crazy secret. People who sit in the cubicles next to each other don't talk about what they're doing.
Leander, is that culture of secrecy going to change under Tim Cook?
Oh, I doubt it. No, I think Tim Cook's, cut from the same cloth. No, he's gonna keep it secretive too. It's been so effective for them. I mean, there's no way that they would open up. I mean, they're very, very, very tight about this, and they're not going to open up at all.
Guy, how about you? Without Steve Jobs as CEO, can Apple and Tim Cook keep a lid on it as well as they've been able to over the last decade? Except for the lost iPhones, of course.
I think it depends on the personality of Tim Cook and how he chooses to, enforce his adult supervision. I don't know. I've never met the man. I don't know him personally. So I would agree with Leander that I don't think it's going to get any looser. That is how that company is run. The irony of Apple, for all its wonderfulness, is that it is antisocial. Which is kind of bizarre. You would think, of all companies, Apple would be a social media, social everything kind of company. It's antisocial. It's totally secretive.
Leander, you uncovered a new piece to this thing that had it not been you and had you not come up with some of the same stuff I did, that is another interesting thing that happens. You've written on Cult of the Mac that it looks like Apple security, you think they impersonated the police? What I'll say that backs up my reporting is that you came up with the same name of the same guy in the same neighborhood who says he got visited by somebody. I talked to his cousin. Sounds like you talked to the guy himself.
Actually, I didn't talk to him. It was another reporter here in San Francisco, but it looks like 6 Apple security people showed up at this guy's house looking for the iPhone. They tracked it there using GPS, and they said they were from SFPD, which is a crime here in California, up to a year in jail. We haven't got all the details on this. It may not be the case, but impersonating the police is a pretty serious thing to do.
Yeah, and Guy, let me throw it back at you. I mean, it seems like they wouldn't be doing this if it was a lost droid.
Well, since they don't make droids, yes, but I understand your point. But it is kind of Dilbertian in a sense, right? This could be a great cartoon.
It certainly is an intriguing story. All right, Leander Kahney and Guy Kawasaki, thank you so much for joining us here
Thank you.
on this story.